All right, guys, this is Christian here. Today I'm gonna be recording a video that's gonna help you choose the right online skill or business model. And it's gonna help you choose like where you should focus your energy on and what you should spend the most time working on and what's actually the best business or online skill for you because nowadays there's like a lot of course gurus that will tell you different things. So you have like conflicting opinions because they're trying to convince you to like go a certain route. For example, let's say they teach a sales course. They'll try to convince you to do sales and they'll tell you that these other business models are harder, that they don't make as much money and that you shouldn't do those. You should do this one instead. Or let's say they teach e-commerce. They'll tell you that e-commerce is the best course, the best business model for beginners, and you should ignore these business models, right? They all have like different reasons for telling you that. It's either because they're biased and that's the business model that works for them, or because they have a course, a mentorship program, or they offer coaching for that specific business model. So they're not being like objective. They're not telling you like the complete truth. What they're trying to do is like convince you to go a certain way so that you buy their info product, you buy their course, you buy their coaching. And then that's why they kind of like compete, right? Like you have another guy telling you this is the best business model, you have another one telling you this is the best one. And what ends up happening is that you're confused, right? As a beginner, you don't have the experience, the understanding of online money or online business to know what's true and what's not true and what's actually the best one for you, right? So the goal of this video is to just kind of give you like my thought process, like evaluate the pros and cons of every business model, kind of tell you what limitations or struggles you're going to have with each one, what's like the best case scenario for each business and what you could expect, right? Because I haven't done all these business models, but I've done several of these, and I've done business models that are kind of similar to each other. For example, I've done affiliate marketing, right? And that's kind of I've done email marketing in the process. So even though I haven't had an email marketing agency, I understand how it works. I've done lead generation. I've never done influencer marketing, but I understand how it works, right? So I kind of have like an understanding of some of these business models, and the ones that I don't understand, I've spoken to people who do these business models, so I can kind of give you advice or tell you what they've encountered, the problems that these people typically see when they choose these business models. So my goal is to just give you kind of like a non-biased, like personally invested opinion on each business and help you choose, right, which was the best one for you. So you can kind of see my thought process, right? Because I know there's going to be a lot more businesses that are not on this list right here. This has like 37 business models and online skills, but there's way more that are popular. There's way more options that you could do to make money online to hit your first 5K or your first 10K or beyond, right? So these are just 37 examples, and I'm going to go over my thought process and basically tell you like what's the pros and cons and what you should expect. And then what you should do is kind of like learn the way I'm reviewing these things, the things I'm taking into consideration, and then use that to evaluate if you're doing the right business model. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to just watch this video and decide to hop businesses or to switch niches, right? Because that's going to make you go back to zero and restart and have to do the learning curve again, have to restart from basically from scratch, right? So if you're already doing a business model, this is going to help you like understand if you should switch or if it's a good idea to change businesses. But I'm not saying you have to change businesses because for a lot of you guys are already in a good business. All you have to do is just continue with that, stick with that for long enough, and you'll start to see results. So if it's one of the business models that I talked about here and I recommended and I said it was good and I described it as mostly pros and less cons, then you should stick with it. But if it's one of the business models that I told you that has a lot of flaws or maybe doesn't work the best in 2025, then you can consider switching. But I don't want you to get shiny object syndrome when you watch this video. I just want you to understand in the case that you do switch businesses in the future, or if you're in a bad position, then you could pivot to something that makes more sense for you. So the first category that we're going to talk about right now is the content creation and monetization. So let's look at these business models right here. So the first one is YouTube, and a YouTube channel could be a personal brand, or it could be a faceless channel. So if you're doing a personal brand, it's going to be more hands-on because you have to record yourself, you have to like write your own scripts, you have to actually have your face in the thumbnails or your videos, as opposed to doing faceless channels or YouTube automation. That's going to be more of animations, photos, stock images. Maybe you guys have like cartoons or other people who do the voiceovers. So that's going to be less involved. But on YouTube, you do have to like grow organically. So you have to post consistently, right? It's not like you just post 5 videos and you're guaranteed to go viral. The way it works is that you have to post a lot of videos consistently and learn and get better. And over time, your channel is going to grow in subscribers. It's going to grow in view count. And the good thing about YouTube is that when you upload a video, let's say you made a video a year ago or 2 years ago or 6 months ago, you can continue to make money from that video even into the future, right? Because people can go back and watch the old videos. You can add them to playlists. You can add them to the end screen. You can kind of recommend them to your viewers. So you're always getting views like permanently, right? As long as your channel is growing, it's going to continue to snowball on the views and you're going to keep growing, right? And it kind of makes this a little bit more passive than other business models because once you record one video, it can earn you money for 6 months, a year, or more, right? Now, if you're doing faceless, it can be even more passive or it could be even more automated and delegated because you can have people making the videos for you. After a while, you can have like money set aside to paying these people to do the scripts, to record the videos, to edit the videos. But of course, in the very beginning, you're going to be making the content yourself. If you're doing personal brand, you're going to have to record the scripts that you're going to record and speak over the scripts, and you're going to have the camera on your face. You're going to have to like design the thumbnails, design the titles, the editing of the videos. And if you do faceless, yes, it can be automated, yes, it can be delegated, but in the beginning, you might not have the money to do that. And if you don't have the money to do that, you're going to have to be the one to make the thumbnails, be the one to like edit the video. And you also have to like focus on acquiring the skill, right? You can't really hire and train people until you get good at it yourself. Like you're not going to be able to hire a team of people to manage your YouTube channels if you still don't know how to do it yourself, right? You have to be able to teach and train these people and check that they're doing it the right way. So YouTube is a really good way to make money. It's an asset that builds over time. Followers stack, the views stack, and the reputation on the channel starts to grow. But one thing you do have to keep in mind is that you're still on YouTube, so they can ban you, they can restrict you, they can demonetize you. So YouTube channels are an asset and they can make you money passively if you have like good videos that you recorded a year ago or more. But the problem is that you're still on YouTube, so you still have to follow their rules. So YouTube is a really good way. I would recommend it to people who are beginners, but one thing I want you guys to understand is that it's not going to be quick money. You're not going to make money with this in a month or even 3 months if you're a complete beginner from scratch. It's going to take a long time to actually get good and to learn the skill and to acquire the capital to be able to build a team. So YouTube channels, I approve them. Just understand it's not going to be fast money, right? And none of these business models are going to be fast. So I wouldn't even consider this slow money by any means. I'm just telling you that none of these are like actually fast money. Now the next one is podcasting. So let's say you have a podcast on Apple, Spotify, or you upload the episodes on YouTube. Now recording the podcast, it might be a 1 hour or 2 hour, 3 hour episode, but you need to have cameras, microphones, quality equipment, or a studio that's like soundproof and has all the camera angles and all the microphones set up and all this equipment. So that's going to cost you money. You can buy all the equipment yourself and set up your own studio, or you can rent a studio that already has everything set up, right? Now, this business model, I wouldn't consider a beginner business model because turning on the camera and then pressing play and speaking on the microphone is actually easy to do. But the problem is that you need to have like a unique angle. You need to be like an expert or an authority in a certain subject. And if you're not, you're going to need to invite people who are, right? You're going to need to invite guests to make appearances. You need to have co-hosts that also speak on your podcast, or you can do it solo just with guests. But overall, this is kind of like not easy for beginners, especially if you don't have any connections. You don't have money to invest in the studio or into renting the studio, or you don't have connections that allow you to get guest appearances. You don't have like interesting people to interview, right? So podcasting is, I would say it's not beginner friendly. And also podcasting costs money because you need the equipment or to be able to rent equipment from someone. And on top of that, the way podcasts work, it's not that you just record the episode for 2 to 3 hours. Like you don't just press play, record the episode, talk, and that's it, you're done. The way that podcasting works is that you need to have like a content team. You need to be able to clip your podcast, put it on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms, maybe even on Twitter or like Facebook. And you need to promote your podcast. You need to have social media pages on every different platform and be sending those clips everywhere, posting stories, posting reels, posting videos, and then taking everyone back into your platform, right? You might have it on YouTube, so you have to get traffic from TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and bring it back to YouTube. And that's like the actual marketing of your podcast. That's like the actual work that you do. Like recording the podcast might be 2 hours, but getting the viewers, marketing the podcast, that's where the real work comes in. And again, you need to have like a good understanding of content creation. You need to be able to edit short form clips, long form clips, make appealing hooks and all these things. And if you're a beginner, you're probably not going to know how to do that. And you also need money and you need connections to have the guests. So overall, podcasting is not beginner friendly. It can make good money, but in the beginning, I would not recommend you do podcasting as a way to make money online because you just need too many skill sets and you need capital to invest. Let's say you already have like a podcast and you have your own content team that's going to make the clips for you, then you would have to pay them, right? But if you're doing this by yourself solo as a beginner, it's going to be hard. So I would not recommend podcasting, but it is a good way to make money once you have the capital, once you have more connections and you want to make a presence online. Podcasting is like a good way to do that. And then the next one is like TikTok content creator. So TikTok content creator is kind of like having a YouTube channel, but there's some differences. The difference is that the content is going to be like a few minutes long, or it might be 1 minute or 30 seconds or, shorter clips. And when you have these shorter clips, you can make more pieces of content per day. You can make the pieces of content quicker. You can have like multiple accounts and so on. But the problem is that since on TikTok, the viewers are less sophisticated, they're less invested, they're less committed because it's easier to watch a 30-second clip than watch a 20-minute video, right? The person that watched a 20-minute video has a greater attention span. Maybe they're more mature. Maybe they like the content creator more because investing 20 minutes into watching a YouTube video, it's a way larger investment than investing 30 seconds to just watch this funny clip, right? So TikTok can make money, but it doesn't make as much money as Instagram or YouTube, for example, because the audience is less sophisticated, the audience is less mature, and it's less serious and less likely to buy products, right? On TikTok, you can make money from the creator rewards program And now they also have the TikTok Shop, so which is like it's kind of like basically TikTok Shop is like doing e-commerce organically. You basically like promote an e-com product, and then you have an affiliate link, and if you generate sales for the TikTok product, then you get paid, right? So these are a little bit different, like just making motivational clips or like content on TikTok. You get paid through creator rewards. Maybe you might be able to sell some merch. Maybe you could sell a digital product. But again, like the viewers on TikTok are not that high quality because it's shorter clips and it's less sophisticated audience. So you won't be able to monetize the audience as good. And also you might have to rely on like the creator rewards. And again, it's a platform, so they could pay you less if they want to. They could ban you, they can restrict you, they can do whatever they want, right? Because it's their platform and they're the ones that are paying you. So TikTok creator is like content creator is like a decent way to make money, but it's not as stable. And I would not like, put too much effort into it as much as like YouTube or Instagram, for example. Now, another one that you can do is Instagram theme pages. So I've done Instagram theme pages in the past. I still have motivational accounts on Instagram. I just have like a virtual assistant that manages these accounts for me. I don't have to like go and post every single day. I don't have to make the stories. I don't have to make the content. I just have someone manage them for me. But now on Instagram theme pages, you don't make money from like a rewards program. You don't make ad revenue. You have to make money from selling paid promotions, having brand deals, or having ads, or selling digital products in the link in bio, or having affiliate deals, right? So Instagram is different. You don't get paid like YouTube from ad revenue, and you don't get paid like TikTok from the creator rewards. The platform doesn't pay you. You have to like figure out your own way to monetize your pages. You have to find a way to monetize your audience by selling ads on your pages or having products that your audience is going to buy. So Instagram is really profitable because there's DMs. You can kind of like follow up with people. You can have people DM you to buy the product. You can have stories where you can nurture people, right? You could have a case study, a testimonial, or you just have like a story with a caption and call to action at the end. So Instagram is really good for monetizing for DMs and for stories. That's what makes it better than TikTok, the DM feature and the story feature. And also you can put photos like carousels, posts, highlights. So it's a lot more sophisticated and it's a lot more easier to monetize on Instagram, but you don't get paid from the platform. You have to be creative. You have to find your own ways to monetize. So Instagram is a better version of TikTok in my opinion, but I would still say that YouTube is better because on YouTube you can make videos that are 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And someone that invests that much time into watching you on YouTube, that means they're a serious customer. That means they could potentially like buy your product if it's $100 or $500 or $1,000, right? So Instagram theme pages are a decent way, but again, it's not quick. You have to grow, and you do have to like watch out for the platform. They can ban you, they can restrict you, they can do whatever they want because it is their platform, right? Instagram can ban you or do whatever they want. So again, be careful with that, but that's one way you can make money. So now we've done YouTube, we've done podcasting, we've done TikTok, Instagram theme pages. The next one is newsletters. So basically, a newsletter publishing is when you get traffic from Twitter, blogs, Facebook, or Instagram, and then you just get everyone to subscribe to your newsletter. So you don't sell anything on Instagram, you don't sell anything on TikTok or Twitter or your blog. It's just free content where you give insights, you give value, you educate or you entertain, you get people to subscribe to your newsletter. Once they subscribe, you could sell ads on your newsletter. Or if you have Beehive, for example, which is an email platform, you can have ads, you can have promos, you can have affiliate deals with affiliate links. You could sell products to your people on the newsletter and get paid a commission for that. You can have ads, you can sell your own digital products, you can have your own coaching offers. So having a newsletter is extremely profitable and you can monetize really well. But the only issue is that you don't just have a list and send emails. You have to get traffic. You have to find ways, like creative ways to get followers, creative ways to get subscribers from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, or like blogs, right? You have to like find ways to get traffic, get them on the newsletter, and then send high quality emails that convert people and have deals, brand deals, affiliate deals. And that's how you monetize with newsletter publishing. So I would say it's a decent way to make money once it's established. You can have 10,000, 100,000, 200,000 subscribers that you've accumulated over multiple years, and you just keep selling to this loyal fan base that you have on email. The only problem is that for a beginner, to be that sophisticated, to be that good at getting traffic, to be that good at writing emails, it's not going to be that easy. So I would say this is not beginner friendly, but it is a good way to have like a sustainable income because once you have like an email list, it's a lot harder to get banned on email than it is on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, right? So it's more stable, it's a longer term play, and it's more intimate to like email someone than to have just like a Facebook post or a YouTube video, right? So email is really profitable. It's just not beginner friendly. Now, another way to make money is self-published books. So this is basically like making ebooks. You can put these ebooks on Amazon, like the digital books section of Amazon, or you could sell them as PDF files in so many ways. So the way you get sales here is you have to grow Instagram pages, you have to grow blogs, you have to have ads. So you need to find a way to find the traffic and then make a book. Either you write it yourself or you use AI tools to write the different topics of the book. And making the book is not that hard. The hardest part is actually like marketing the book and having sales and having an audience And it's going to require you to do basically like what we mentioned here. You might have to have a YouTube channel, you might have a podcast, a TikTok page, an Instagram page, or you might even have a newsletter, right? So to do this, you're going to have to know some combination of the previous ones, right? So I would say it's a good way to make money because it's digital products. You could sell, once you have one book, you could sell it 1,000 times. And once you know marketing, you can create lists, create social media followings, and keep releasing different books about different topics. Maybe they're in the same niche, but they're a different topic or a different mechanism. So you can keep selling different books to different like people of the same type. So this is a good way to monetize. It's digital. Once you have the following count or like the subscriber count, you just keep selling different things. It's a good way to monetize, but again, you have to like know this or this or this or this or this or all of them, right? To be able to monetize this. So I wouldn't say it's a beginner friendly model. And it's going to take you a while to crack as a complete beginner. You're not going to be able to make money that fast because you have to grow an audience organically. If you can do ads, you could do it faster, but I don't expect you to run ads or to know how to run ads as a beginner. And you might not even have the money to invest on ads to be able to sell your ebooks, right? So this is a good business model. It's just not that beginner friendly. Now, the next one is online course creators. So this is now becoming more popular. More people are making online courses. Let's say you're really good at baseball. You could teach people how to play baseball at a high level, or maybe you're really good at gardening or gardening, like, growing plants and having like flowers and gardens, right? You could teach that skill to people. Maybe you're really good at, I don't know, let's say you're good at comedy or you're good at being a clown, right? Then you could teach people how to like become a clown, how to like garden or do whatever, right? So you can kind of like be creative, and the more niche it is, the more you'll distinguish yourself, and like the more micro niche you could be, the easier it's going to be able to dominate the niche because you don't have as many competition. And if you make good courses, you make good content around that course, you could sell a lot of copies, right? Now, this is going to require you to know a lot more things, right? Because to create a course, you don't just make a course. You don't just record 10 hours of content and then put it on school or in a Discord channel or on WAP and that's it, right? You have to like do a lot of things. You have to market the course. You need to manage the people who join the course. You need to have like the customer support or like the support part of the course of the community, right? So there's more components, right? And you're probably gonna have to get the traffic somehow. The traffic could be through ads. Maybe you get it from YouTube. Maybe you get it from Instagram, or maybe you get it from a newsletter, right? So there's a lot of things that come into play. Online course creation is a really profitable way. I'd say it's even better than self-published ebooks because if you can attach a personal brand and you can like increase the trust and credibility and get more conversions. And online courses they provide more value than just an ebook, right? Because information is cheap, but online courses give you more content. They give it to you in a more presentable way. They have bonuses that come with it. People can get a community. Maybe they can get a one-on-one call with the course. Maybe they can get more things, right? So courses are like a way to make more money that allow you to charge more than just ebooks. But again, they also combine all of this. You need like YouTube. Maybe you need a podcast. Maybe you need a TikTok. Maybe you need an Instagram or a newsletter, or you need ads, right? So it's a lot harder to do than just making the course, right? So I would say it's not beginner friendly, but it's extremely profitable. All right, guys, let's move into the next category. So the next category is service-based businesses. So this is kind of like, I would say these are one of the businesses that you could start with $0. Like all of these, you could start with zero because making a YouTube channel is free. Making a podcast is not free, but a TikTok account is free, an Instagram account is free, and even newsletter building is free to collect the emails. You do have to pay to send emails, but in the beginning to collect it and build the list, it's free. And now self-published ebooks is pretty free. You just have to have like AI tools or whatever you need to like record it. Now, online courses cost a little bit more money because you have to like spend money on the equipment to be able to record the course. And if you have ads, you have to spend money on the ads. But if you market it organically, this is kind of like free because nowadays you can record on an iPhone, you can record on a webcam or a laptop. So it's not that expensive to make a course. The only one that costs more money is podcasting. And even then, that's not that expensive. So these you can almost basically do for zero. Actually, hold on, let me erase this. So you can do this one for basically for zero. And these other ones right here, service-based businesses, are also, they can be done at zero. So the reason for that is because a service-based business basically provides a service or provides labor to a different business or a different person. So if you do freelance writing, you're going to be writing for a blog, you're going to be writing for a company, right? So freelance writing, this could be like copywriting, this could be ghostwriting, or this could just be content writing. Let's say someone has a really big website and they write blog articles. You could be that person writing the blog article. Or let's say they have sales pages or landing pages or VSLs. You could be the copywriter that makes the copy for the landing page or the VSL. Or if they have a Twitter page or they have a Threads page or something like this, you could be a ghostwriter and be the one that writes the tweets, be the one that writes the messages, right? So that's why freelance writing is like a good way to make money with zero because you're not actually like paying anything. You're not making a business. You're offering your services to a different business that's already established. They already have an Instagram page. They already have a Twitter page. They already have a product. They already have like a fan base or like an audience. what you're doing is just offering your services and helping them do their job better, right? So these are businesses you could start with zero, basically. So freelance writing is it's pretty low cost. You do have to get good at writing. You can't just like sell copywriting or ghostwriting or content writing without being that good. Nowadays, you can use AI tools and you can get a lot of free resources, read books, and like basically teach yourself how to become a writer. But you still need to be like decently good so that you don't get like fired or you don't get people to don't refund the payments they send you, right? So this is a good one to start with zero. Another one is social media management. So let's say you learn how to grow an Instagram pages, TikTok, YouTube, and so on. Then you can get paid to do social media management. Now it's not your own account, it's not your own Twitter page. You're basically helping other businesses do their social medias, and you're getting paid to manage it, right? So this is less passive because you're the one that's in there working and basically helping the business. But you don't have to like you can get money quicker, right? Same with freelance writing and social media management. You get paid a lot quicker if you start sending outreach messages, doing some content, cold email, just reaching out to people. You can get paid quicker because the social media account is already established, the content on the website is already established, the Twitter page is already grown. So all you're doing is just coming in and helping them. You don't have to wait for social media growth. You don't have to wait for things to build up. You could just get hired and get paid the same day. So that's the good thing about the social media management one. It's not as slow as these. You can make money quicker because you can get paid and hired like the same day that you decide to like become a social media manager, right? Now another one is a virtual assistant. This is like technically like a job. Basically, what you do as a virtual assistant is you help a business as like you're kind of an employee in the business. Maybe you do admin tasks. Maybe you do really tedious things. So again, this is a service, but in my opinion, you shouldn't like try to do these gigs too much. It's a good way to make money or extra income, but you'll never be able to like become financially free. You won't be able to make 10K per month or 100K per month or more if you're a virtual assistant. So a virtual assistant, yes, you can make money. Yes, you can have a consistent paycheck, but you're not going to be able to make as much as you want. And the reason why I included it on this list is because I want you to know that this is an option, but that's probably not the option that you want. This is not like what you want to do forever. You don't want to always be a virtual assistant. That's probably not your end goal. And it has like some clear cons. So the clear con is that you get paid hourly, you get paid for your time, you get paid maybe in performance, but there's a limit, right? If you give them $1 million of value, you're not going to get paid 1 million. If you work extra hours, you're not going to get paid that much more. You might get a little bit extra money or a bonus, but you're not going to get paid that much. So virtual assistant is decent, can get you paid, but it's not going to make you a millionaire. But that is one option to make money. Personally, I wouldn't do it because if you want to make money and you want to like become a millionaire and do these things, if you work as a job that's not the one that you want, let's say you are a virtual assistant, that's taking away your time to do all of these other 37 business models, right? So this is one I wouldn't recommend it unless it's what you actually want or you really need the money urgently. Then I would become a virtual assistant or a personal assistant, but I would not recommend you do these because then you don't have time to learn this skill or this skill or this skill, right? So that's one option. And then the next one is graphic design. So graphic design is kind of like being a freelance writer or a social media manager. You have to like reach out to people, people who need websites, people who need thumbnails or other types of like designs, right? And your job is to basically offer your skill. So you have to spend time learning virtual design on your own. But once you already know how to make designs and you're already good at drawing artworks or making things for posters, flyers or whatever it is that you're selling, once you have the skill, all you have to do is reach out to businesses and offer it. When you find a business that wants your graphic design work, they can pretty much hire you and pay you the same day that you reach out to them. So this is a good skill to have. But the problem with this is that you're kind of like using your time to learn the skill and then you're using your time to like develop and like do the work. So this has more leverage than virtual assistant, but it still doesn't have as much leverage because there's a limit that you can get paid. You're not going to become a millionaire by doing graphic design because you're limited to just one person. When you're not working, you're not doing client work. When you're not doing client work, you're not making money. So graphic design is decent, but it's not going to make you a millionaire and it's not going to get you the financial freedom that you want. So I would say it's like a good gig to do, same as freelance writing, but it's not going to like ever make you a millionaire or give you like the freedom that you want. So it's a decent way to make money, but it's not permanent in my opinion. Now, web development is basically the same as graphic design. The difference is that web development makes websites, maybe you make landing pages, or maybe you make some other type of development. Maybe you help with apps or software, right? So this here is kind of like graphic design, but it's a little bit different. Instead of doing graphics, you do websites. And again, you have the same issues. It's just one person. So when you're not working on web projects, you're not getting paid. And you might be making way more money than a virtual assistant. Maybe you make even more money than a freelance writer. But you just don't have your time isn't that leverage, right? Because what you want to do is you want to be able to disconnect your time from the money, right? So this is your time and this is your money, right? If you have to work to make money, like let's say you give more hours, you make more money together. When you stop working and let's say your work goes down, your money also goes down. So you need to find like a way to disconnect it. Like you need to be able to make more money without having to work more time. If you can work less time and make more money, that's even better. But if you're stuck in the cycle where you have to work more to make more, you're basically almost having like a job. And yes, it probably would pay you more than having like like a fast food job. It would pay you more than being a virtual assistant. It might pay you more than like working at a supermarket or something like this. It's still not complete freedom because like I said, if you start working less, your income's also going to go down, right? They go hand in hand. And what you want to be able to do is work less and make more, right? So this is a decent way to make money, but it's not the best method ever, right? And now another one that you could do is SEO consulting. So SEO consulting is like, so when you search on Google and you get different results, when you do SEO, it's basically you help websites rank higher. And like the higher a website is ranked on Google, the more likely someone's going to click on the link and go to the website and buy the product or buy the service, right? So basically you're helping businesses rank higher on Google and then you get paid for your work or for your consulting or your advice, right? So I would say this is higher leverage because it's not as tedious as web development. It's not as tedious as graphic design or freelance because when you do SEO, you're not working all day. You usually have like someone overseas, like from India or from Asia, that does the SEO work. You just basically kind of create the strategy, find the keywords. So this is a little bit more like knowledge based because you need to understand how keywords work, how Google works, how Bing searches work, and you need to like give your expertise to a business. So it's a quick way to make money because businesses are paying you. So the day that you reach out to business could be the same day that you get paid. And it's not as tedious as like web design or graphic design or freelance writing, but it is still depending on like clients, right? There's a certain amount of clients you can fit into your schedule, right? Because maybe your schedule is really busy. This is like one client, another client, another client. And eventually you run out of spaces, so you can have more clients. And you can build a team to be able to handle more clients, but there's still a limit to what you can do with SEO. But I would say out of this list so far that we've covered, SEO consulting is the best one so far because you can have a team. It's not as like time consuming and you can get way more clients for SEO than you could for freelance writing or graphic design or web development. So I would say this is probably the best one so far on this list, but there's still even more that you could do. Now, the next one is online tutoring. Now, online tutoring is like you teach someone a skill. It's kind of like coaching, but it's like less leverage, right? Because tutoring is kind of like maybe you teach a math subject, maybe you teach, I don't know, piano or guitar lessons, right? So these things it's basically like having a job and you get paid hourly. So I would not consider this one that much better than virtual assistant. Of course, like a piano teacher gets paid more than a virtual assistant, but you probably don't make more money than SEO consulting, web design, or freelance writing. So I would say this is still bottom tier because you still haven't done what I said here, right? You make more money when you work more hours, but if you want to work less hours, then you also make less money, right? These are not like unlinked. You want to unlink the money and the time, right? And you can't really do that with online tutoring. Now, another one is like video editing. This one's been really popular. I've talked to like a lot of guys who are video editors and they've asked me for advice. And personally, I would say it's not that good of a business model. And the reason for that is because just like freelance writing, graphic design, and web design, you have to like spend a lot of time editing and getting clients and you can't make editing faster, right? You can't just edit a video in 1 minute. You can't edit a video in 10 minutes. If you want to make a high quality video, especially if it's a longer video, you're gonna have to spend way more than 10 minutes recording this video, right? And there's a limit to how many videos you can make per day because if you're not editing, you're not working, and if you're not working, you're not making money. And if you stop working, your clients will fire you, and you'll just start to make less money. So editing is super low leverage. I would say that nowadays, since a lot of people can edit with AI tools, or they can pay people from India or from like Asia to edit videos for them, people don't want to pay as much as freelance writing because freelance writing is still hard. Indians can't write extremely well, and they can't do copy or ghostwriting, right? And they can kind of do graphic design and they can kind of do web development, but they still can't do freelance writing or SEO consulting. So I would say that video editing is probably like a really weak business model. You can make money with it. You can hit 2K or 3K per month, but it's going to be really hard to become like 10K per month video editor unless you have an agency and a large team. But that's probably like not possible for a lot of you guys because to be able to build a team, you need to have like enough capital to like, first you need money to pay yourself and then you need money to pay the employee. And you need to have like a lot of clients that be really like established to be able to do that. So you're probably not going to have a team to do video editing. You're probably going to do it on your own. And doing it on your own, it doesn't pay as well, and it's too time consuming. And you're never going to be able to like unlink the time that you're working on. Like you won't be able to do this right here, which is get your money up but get your time down. It's just not possible with video editing. So I would not recommend it for a lot of people. And now another one that we can talk about is marketing and sales. So I've done affiliate marketing before. Affiliate marketing, you can do it organically or you can do it with ads. And the good thing about affiliate marketing is that you don't have to make the product, you don't have to make the service, you don't have to make the coaching program or whatever that you're selling, you don't have to make it. So your whole job is just to sell it and that's it. Once they buy and they join the community or the program, That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to like onboard them. You don't have to give them the fulfillment. You don't have to manage customer support or anything like this. All you have to do is just sell the course, the program, or the mentorship and get them inside. And once they're inside, now the team or the owner has to manage the rest, right? So affiliate marketing is pretty good because you can kind of isolate skills. So you can focus on getting traffic, you can focus on marketing, and not have to do the rest. Now the problem is you kind of do work for someone, but not really. You're not an employee. You don't get paid hourly. You don't have salary, but you do have like a commission, and people could lower your commission or like decide not to pay you or whatever, right? So you're still not completely independent, but you're still way more independent than having a remote job or having like a salary, right? So I would say it's okay. It's a decent way to make money, but it's not 100% sustainable and it's not stable because you're still relying on somebody else. So what if that person that you're affiliating for closes their program down? Now you're not going to have anything sell. Let's say this program gets a bad reputation or the program starts to do bad. Now you are going to have like a harder time selling the product, right? So you're kind of like you're not fully independent. You're depending on somebody else. So affiliate marketing is pretty good, but it's not independent enough to like have 100% control over what you're doing. So I would say it's a decent option, but not a perfect option. Now, another one you can do is email marketing. So email marketing agency is basically you do email marketing for e-commerce brands. Maybe you do it for other agencies. Maybe you do it for coaches or info product. And basically, as an email marketing agency, you have to like get their leads, do email marketing to their audience or their list, and basically help them sell more product. So you can do this by doing higher quality emails, having sequences, having flows, or just being really good at converting the audience, right? So email marketing, it's a decent way to make money because you're going into a business that already exists, already has an audience, already has a list, and you're selling them a really specific service. Now, to learn email marketing as a beginner and to be able to get big paying clients as a beginner, it's going to be hard because email marketing is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's extremely hard, but it's not that beginner friendly. Like you're not going to be able to just like watch a YouTube course and know all the tricks. But I would say it's a really good business model, right? It's going to take you some time to learn. You might have to get one or two clients and do like kind of a mediocre service in order to be able to learn and get better. But I would say email marketing agency is a pretty good business because you can always get new clients. You can always like upgrade your clients. You can get higher paying clients. You can get referrals. You can build a team. And if you're an agency owner for an email marketing agency, first of all, email marketing is not that time consuming. You can have like 50 clients or more, right? With a team, right? Because you can hire different copywriters, you can hire VAs, you can hire people to manage your operations, you can hire people to do your sales. So an agency is a good way to like make money and have stable income because it's recurring monthly revenue, and you can build teams and you can kind of like delegate a lot more because it's not like a solo business. You're not just relying on yourself, and the work is not that tedious, right? So I would say it's a really good business model, but it's not going to be super easy to learn as a beginner, right? These other ones right here are easier to learn as a beginner. This one is a little bit more skilled, but you also get paid more and it's a little bit more stable. Now another one is lead generation service. So a lead generation service, it can be an agency or it can be like a lead provider. So if you do lead generation, your job is to basically get phone calls or contacts and then sell them to like a business. This could be like a plumbing service, electrician, or it could be a barber shop, or it could be like a restaurant or something like this. So your job is just to get customers and then send them to the business. And again, this is pretty like not so tedious. You can run ads or you can do organic methods and you can have a lot of different clients. So I would say this is a pretty good way to make money and you can build teams. Again, you're still relying on like clients, so your clients can fire you if you do a bad job. But overall, it's a pretty decent way to make money. I've met like a lot of people who became millionaires with this because they've been able to automate it and scale it up so high with huge ad budgets and huge teams. So this could actually pay really well. And same for a email marketing agency. Lead generation could also be way more automated. It could be through ads. It can be a lot of different methods. So I would say this is a good business model. You do have to like learn a lot of things. You need to learn how to do ads. You need to learn how to manage a CRM, how to like hire employees and train employees. But overall, this is a good skill to learn. Now, influencer marketing management. This business is basically like you find creators or influencers and you manage them, and you can give them ad deals. You can give them like sponsorships. So what you have to do is basically find the brands, find the sponsorships, and then connect them with the influencer or the creator. And this business model is basically you being a middleman, and you connect the brand and the influencer, and you get paid some commission in the middle. This business model is not that hard. You just need to be able to like outreach and like get people to work with you because you need to recruit influencers and creators, but you also need to recruit the brands. So you kind of have to become really good at recruiting people, getting people's attention, making deals with people, and basically like getting the brand deal to the influencer and so on. So I would say this is pretty good business. You just have to learn how to like contact people and get attention and speak to people and make deals. Now, another one is ad management. So this is similar to lead generation. And when you do ad management, you basically run ads for different businesses. This could be e-commerce brands, or they could be real life businesses or online businesses like coaching or like courses. And the thing about ads is that you don't have to like edit the ads like multiple hours per day. You just have to create an ad strategy, create creatives, and then push the ads out and test different things and different and change different variables. So this is not that tedious, and you can train people to manage the different systems for you. So paid ads management, I would say it's a good business model. You can have like 100 clients or more, and you can have rev share, right? You can get paid percentages. You can have commissions. So overall, ad management is like a really good way to make money. It's gonna be super high skill and super high leverage, right? It's not gonna be that easy to get good at running ads like on Facebook, Google, or like TikTok or YouTube. But once you're good and you know the strategy, you basically have like team members that just manage the campaign for you, and you have the overall strategy. And media buying is like a really good skill set. So this can make you a millionaire. This could also make you a millionaire. This one could make you a millionaire. This one too, and this one too. And from here, I would say SEO can make you a millionaire. Freelance writing could, but this is slow. Even graphic design and web development could, but they're really slow. Social media management could make you a million for sure. Online tutor probably not. Virtual assistant probably not. Course creator could definitely make you a millionaire. Published ebooks too, and these other options could, but they're not that fast and not that stable compared to like ad management or lead generation service or agency or the affiliate marketing. Right, so these are right here are a little bit harder. They're not that beginner friendly, but they do pay greater returns in my opinion. All of these right here so far can make you a millionaire. So let's keep going. Now the next one is content marketing agency. So content marketing agency is like different than doing video editing. So when you do a content marketing agency, you basically create content for different platforms. You can have short form content for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, but you're not just editing the clips. You're helping them give them script ideas. You're helping them do the thumbnails. You're helping them do the branding. You're giving them like a general direction of how to like distribute their clips, right? You show them how to hire a team that posts and manages your accounts for them. You maybe even help them design a strategy plan for their YouTube or for their Facebook, and you basically have like a greater say in what they do, right? So because you have a greater say in like their overall strategy, you're more valuable to them. You're not just like editing clips for like $3 an hour. You're giving them like a complete strategy. You're managing everything in their content, and you're telling them how to not just do content and how to edit the content, but you're telling them how to monetize with the content. You're telling them how can they get conversions from their content, and how can they get sales, and how can they increase their awareness with content. So this is a really high leverage skill, and this could easily make you like a millionaire, and you can earn a lot of money with doing this because it's higher level. But of course, since it's higher level, you're not gonna be able to do this as a beginner. You could do video editing pretty easy. You can learn how to edit videos in 3 weeks or like 3 months, right? But to do content marketing agency, that's gonna require you to learn a lot more things, right? Now another one is online PR services. It's just kind of like doing like blog articles, reputation, like management, personal public relations, and stuff like this. Basically, when someone does like bad reviews, you have to like clean the image, and you want to do articles on Forbes, you want to get people on Entrepreneur and all these other websites to kind of like increase your credibility. You want someone to like Google your client. Let's say they Google John, and they see John is in like all these articles, like news interviews and all these things. So it's kind of like SEO, but it's like reputation, and it's like articles and credibility and trust and podcasts and things like that, right? So this is a service you can offer to people, and pretty much only rich people or like established businesses pay for this. So you can charge really well because PR is it's not something that like a common person buys. Someone who's like already successful or already has a big business would buy PR services. So you can make good money with this. Now another one is consulting and marketing strategy. So consulting is basically like instead of running the ads for someone, instead of doing the email marketing for someone, instead of like doing the actual job of marketing for someone, what you do instead is you just do consulting. So someone calls with you on Zoom, someone calls you on the phone, someone calls you like on Google Meets or whatever, or they meet with you in person, or they go to like a workshop with you when you have like a whiteboard and like 5 people in front of you like listening to you. When you do consulting, you're not like actually going inside their business and doing the work. What you're doing consulting is you're kind of teaching people. You're telling them what they should do, what they should look for. You're training their employees like how to do this specific strategy, how to apply this like concept into their business. So basically, you're helping one business by giving them advice. You're giving them like expert advice to be able to know more and to be able to do better and make more money, get more conversions, and grow their business, right? So this is definitely not beginner friendly, because how are you going to be an expert if you've never made money online? How are you going to be an expert if you've never done marketing before? So I would say this one is super advanced, but it's super high leverage because you're not making the ads, you're not making the email marketing strategy, you're not doing anything like that is that time consuming. Your job is just to show up, teach them, consult them, guide them, give them accountability, and then they apply it and you just check their work, right? And you teach them how to do it. So Consulting is super high leverage because it's basically just being an expert and then just teaching them. And you can teach them things that they can't learn in a different way. Like maybe you have the best YouTube strategy to get sales. Maybe you have the best Instagram strategy to help them like monetize their course, right? That's really hard to do as a beginner. And you're the good thing about this is that if you're an expert and you're that good and you're that specialized, people are not going to be able to like replace you. They're not gonna you're not gonna have as much competition because you're like an expert in a specific field. So I would say this pays really well, and it distinguishes you a lot because you can kind of create your own niche. But you're not gonna be able to do this as a beginner because it just requires you to know too much. So I would say this is a good business model, but it's super advanced. So I would not recommend beginners to do this. All right, guys. So now we're in the e-commerce and retail. So we've done like content creation, we've done service with businesses and marketing and sales. This is what I've done before. Like I've done a lot of these. This is how I made like most of my money from agency, affiliate marketing, lead generation. I've done paid ads. I've done consulting too. So I've done like half of these. To be honest, I've probably done like four out of the eight that you can see on here. And on here, I've probably done like maybe two. And on here, I've done like I don't know. I think I've done like maybe three of these. And I've done most of my money has been made from these skills. And I don't want to be biased and tell you that you should do these because the pros and cons is that these pay more, but these are harder. These pay like less and they're more time consuming, but you can start quicker, right? You could become a graphic designer and monetize within a month. You could become a freelance writer and make money in 2 months or 3 months, right? So these are you're gonna make money quicker as a beginner with this. These are harder and they'll have a higher learning curve. Like if you do this, you can make money like this. Let me write you a graph. So this is what it would look like if you started becoming a freelance writer. You can make money quicker, but if you did like a email marketing agency, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna look like this. Like eventually you'll make more money than the freelance writer, but you'll be at zero for such a long time that you might even quit, right? Like this part right here is gonna be a struggle. Meanwhile, if you can do like graphic design or freelance writing, you'll get off the ground quicker, but you also have like a cap. So, like I said, I'm not being biased. I'm just telling you the pros and cons. Now, this is another one that we can talk about is e-commerce and retail. So, you can do drop shipping. The problem is that if you do drop shipping, yes, you could do drop shipping organically, but doing organic drop shipping is actually hard. Like you have to like learn how to make content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or some other platform. So it's not easy to do organic. And the problem with organic is that you have to spend time making videos, creating accounts to test a product, and that's slow. Like most people test products with ads. People make Facebook ads. They test a product. They test the new store, and they see if they can like get some traction, if they get some sales, and if it's like a winning product. And it's really hard to test a winning product with organic because you have to wait for the videos to get views. You have to wait for the account to grow to really know if it's actually a good product. So organic is possible, but it's really slow. And the best way to do it, the way that most people make money with in dropshipping is with ads. And you need money to have ads, right? So for some of you guys might not have $2,000 or $5,000 to invest in ads. So that's the con with dropshipping. It's a good business model. It's extremely scalable, right? You don't have to work 24 hours at a dropshipping store. You can run the ads and they make you money while you're sleeping. The problem with dropshipping is just that you need capital and it's not that easy, right? Because as a beginner knowing zero, you're not going to know how to create a good store. You're not going to know how to like do anything else, right? Eventually, you're gonna have to do a newsletter. You're gonna have to do customer support. You're gonna have to do a lot of other things that you don't know how to do. So dropshipping is good. It's just not that easy, and it requires money. Now, another one is Amazon FBA. So the good thing about Amazon FBA is that you're already on Amazon, so they handle a lot of things for you. They made it a little bit more simple to do e-commerce, but it's still you have to run ads. You need to optimize your product page, and you need to have some level of money to be able to do Amazon, right? So I would say Amazon solves some of your problems that you have in dropshipping, but you still have like the need for capital and you need to like be pretty good to be able to do Amazon FBA. It's not going to be like you just make a store and you just start printing the next day. It's possible, but I would say these are medium options. These are not like really good options to make money, but they're not also bad options. I would prefer you to do dropshipping and Amazon FBA than you doing video editing or like graphic design, for example. These business models are better than those because they disconnect your time from money, right? You can work 0 hours and still make sales, or you can work a little bit less time and still make sales. You know, your money can go up while your time is going down as you scale an e-commerce brand or Amazon FBA brand, but that's not going to be possible with video editing or graphic design, right? So that's the pros and cons of these. Now the next one is print on demand, and so print on demand is just basically making merch. Maybe you do like products like coffee mugs or like blankets or hats, right? So it's kind of like doing drop shipping, but it's slightly different because you kind of have a brand built around the print on demand. So let's say you sell clothing or you sell shirts or hoodies or different products like that. You have to build a brand for it. You have to create its own unique style. You need to like market it a certain way. You need to have like a loyal fan base, right? So I would say this is better, the drop shipping, because here you're kind of like selling products anonymously. People don't know the brand. People don't really care about what you're selling or who you're selling to, right? They just buy it because it's a cheaper product or because the product looks really cool. And you can make a brand with drop shipping, but with print on demand, the branding is a lot stronger because people could buy these things on at the store. They can buy these things at the supermarket, but they choose to buy on your print on demand website or your print on demand brand because of a specific reason, right? So you kind of have to differentiate yourself. You have to make yourself more appealing than the options they have in person. But print on demand is pretty good because you can build a loyal audience. So this is a decent one. I feel like these three are like on the same level. And now the fourth one is a digital product store. So personally, in my opinion, this is better because digital products are completely like scalable, right? You don't have inventory on like on print on demand. You don't have inventory like drop shipping or Amazon FBA. You have like unlimited supply. So when you have a digital product store, it could be an ebook, it could be a course, or it could be something like this, right? You could sell one copy or a million copies. It requires no extra work to do a million copies, right? And you could send it instantly, right? Like someone could pay you and get access to the course or to the material in 1 second, right? You don't have to like wait for shipping. You don't have to worry that things might get lost. You don't have to worry that stock is going to run out. You don't have to make another one, right? Like on print on demand, you have to produce more whenever you sell out. With digital products, you don't have any of those problems. You can have an infinite supply and it could be instantaneously like delivered, right? And it's really scalable because maybe the course took you like 20 hours to record, but then you sold it to 20 people, or maybe you sold it to 20K people, or maybe you sold it to 20 million people. Every time that you make a leap like this, you make more money. This is some money, and then this is a lot of money, and then this is even way more money, right? So without having to do more than the 20 hours you recorded, of course you have to run ads, of course you have to market it, you have to maybe even do YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, newsletter, a lot of these other elements, but you can scale it a lot quicker. So I would say this one is actually better than these three. But again, you have to like become really good at marketing the digital product. You're not just gonna build the digital product and then like automatically make money. You have to like sell it. So digital products are good, and they have its own advantages. But the disadvantage is that it's information. People can pirate it. People can copy it. People could steal the information as opposed to no one's gonna steal your print on demand design. I mean, they could, but it's not as easy, right? So it has its pros and cons, but this one has a lot of cons. I mean, a lot of pros. I mean. Now the next one is handmade goods sellers. So this is actually the worst out of the five that we've covered so far. So handmade goods is like you go and design like a bracelet or you go and design like a specific product. Maybe you have to like draw something or you have to like paint something by hand. And the good thing about e-commerce and retail is it's kind of like automated. Someone could like ship the product from China to like the store or to the shipping service to like the home, right? For Amazon FBA, Amazon handles the packages and they package it for you and they deliver it for you. And on print on demand, it's kind of like drop shipping. And on digital products, it's like instantly delivered to them. So there's no like work on your end. But on handmade, you have to like make the product, maybe wrap it up, bag it, and then put it inside the box and then deliver it. So this is the most time consuming. So you don't get all the benefits that these guys get, which is like they're automated. You can delegate it. You don't have to be involved in the product. To do handmade goods, you have to be the one making them. You have to like you can't really do this right here, which is make more money with less time because you have to make the products yourself. Eventually, you can hire people to make these handmade for you, but then you're also going to have costs because now you're going to have to hire these employees. You're going to have to teach them how to make the handmade goods. So the reason why I included this one is not because I just wanted to include a bad business, but because I want you to understand what makes these good and what makes these bad. This one bad, right? This one is bad because you have to make it yourself or you have to pay someone to make it for you. And you kind of like eliminated some of the pros. The pro is that Amazon handles it for you. The pro of this is that drop shipping is from the supplier to the home. Print on demand is the same from the print on demand company to the person's home. Digital products have no delivery process, right? It's instantly. Meanwhile, handmade goods has like its own manufacturing process. You have to make it, you have to ship it, you have to do a lot of things, right? So this is why I've included this. So you can see the cons, right? So I would say this is the worst one, but it can still make decent money. Now another one is wholesaling. So wholesaling is kind of like you buy a large inventory and then you resell it, or you buy a large group of like units and then you sell it. So this is gonna be the most costly out of all these options because you don't have any inventory when you do digital products. You have some inventory when you do print on demand, drop shipping, or Amazon, but your inventory is in a different place. It's in a warehouse. It's in an Amazon warehouse. If you do this, you have inventory at home or at your workstation. But when you do a wholesale reselling, you have a large amount of inventory. It's not just like a little bit, and you send it when you get paid. No, you have to buy the inventory yourself and store it yourself and keep it yourself, and you take more risk because you could get the product lost. They can be ruined. They could be damaged, and you also have to find a way to rent where you can store these products. So this one is the most costly one, but you can make a lot more because when you buy bulk, you get deals, you get discounts. So that's one of the pros with this. But again, like I said, it's really like It's gonna be hard, right? Now I'm gonna go really quickly because it's been a while now, and I don't want to make this video extremely long. But let's look at some other business models. So another one that you could do is NFT creation and sales. So this is kind of like gambling to some extent because you have to be in early on the crypto to be able to make good returns on it. You need to be able to like get in early when the project is just being created and be able to be one of the first people selling it to be able to monetize. So I would say crypto and NFTs can make good money, but the problem is that you kind of have to network. You need to kind of know which products are the good and which ones you should be selling. So, and I would not consider NFTs and like crypto an actual like business. Like it's a really good way to monetize and to flip money and make quick returns, but it is not a business that's going to be around for maybe 10 years or 20 years. So it's like a quick money glitch, but it's not a business by any means, right? Now another one is like metaverse and real estate. So metaverse real estate is kind of like virtual reality games, or now they're gonna make GTA 6. So on GTA 6, you're gonna be able to sell items, maybe have land, maybe have like features or like cool things on GTA 6. So that's kind of like having in-game or virtual world real estate, right? So you can make money with this, but again, I wouldn't consider it a business. It's not going to work like these other businesses right here. It's not going to work like retail or e-commerce where you could sell these businesses. Like you can sell this business and make like a $1 million sale. You could sell these agencies and make $1 million sale. You're not gonna be able to sell this because this is kind of like you working by yourself. This is you could sell a YouTube channel, you could sell an Instagram page, but not to the same extent as e-commerce or agencies, right? And with meta real estate, you can sell the real estate in the game, which is you can make money that. But again, you're on the game. The game could ban you. The game could take away your assets, your digital real estate. So it's risky, but you can make money. Now, next is like stocks and crypto trading and investing. You can make good money with it, especially if you teach people how to do it yourself. Like you teach people how to trade stocks, or you teach people how to do crypto. You can make decent money. But again, it's not like it's not a business that you're actually building. You're kind of trading. You have to be actively trading to make money. You can make it into a business if you teach people. You have mentorship programs or communities. But if you're there trading, you're kind of like trading your time for money, because if you're trading, you're making money. If you're not trading, then you're not making money. So trading is a decent option. I would say it's like not as good as people think. It has its pros and cons. And now another one is app development. So app development, I've heard a few people talk about this. It's super like untapped, and I would say not enough people in like the make money online world on like the Muddy Twitter space and all these other businesses. They don't really do app development because it's kind of too technical, and I would say it's not beginner friendly. Like I've never actually seen someone just like make a bit an app with zero. They kind of had to like find a way to like make money and then do an app. That's how I see most people do apps. But I know there are people who do start from zero. I just know it's not a method that's that popular. So you're not gonna be able to find courses on YouTube. You're not gonna be able to find gurus that teach you this. It's not gonna be like as easy for you to learn this, but it's definitely like profitable. You can become a millionaire. You can have an exit with a app. You could sell an app to like a big company and make good money. So I would say it's a pretty decent option, but it's just gonna be unclear. It's gonna be hard for you to get started. Now another one is building a software company. So this could pay you really well, and you can sell a software company for like 5 million or like 10 million or even more than that, right? But then making a software company when you have zero money, when you have zero understanding of business, is going to be extremely hard. If you can't make an agency like an email marketing agency, you can't make a content marketing agency. You don't know how to run ads. You don't know how to do social media management. It's going to be really really hard for you to do a subscription based software company. So SaaS is like software as a service, and it's going to be really hard for you to do that if you have no business experience, you have no marketing experience, you've never hired anyone, you don't know how to manage a team. This is definitely not a beginner business. I would say this is probably one of the harder ones, along with app development and consulting, to do, because it's just not beginner friendly. You're not going to be able to do a software business as your first business. You probably need like a lot more things, right? So it's a really good business. You can become like a jack millionaire, like 10 million or more with software, but definitely not a beginner business. Now let's do online coaching. So this could be business coaching, which is kind of like consulting, or it could be fitness, or it could be life, or it could be dating coach, or some other type of coaching. And this right here could pay you really well. But again, you have this problem that if you're not doing coaching calls, you're not doing consulting, then you're not making money. Like you can't really de-link your time from your money unless you sell courses, unless you hire other coaches, unless you have a real coaching company that has multiple coaches, multiple people managing the offer, right? You could do that. But in the beginning, as a solo coach, there's a limit to how much you could scale. You'd have to like really build up the coaching offer to be able to like make 100K per month or more. So I would say coaching is a really good way to like make 20 or 30K, but there's a limit on how much coaching you could do personally. So you would have to find some way to scale. You'd have to add online course creation, or you'd have to offer another service to go with it, right? So online coaching is pretty good. I would say it's not beginner friendly because you do have to have some skill. You need to be advanced in fitness. You need to be advanced in life or business, right? To be able to do coaching, because you kind of need to be an expert to do coaching. You can't just coach without having a position of authority, right? So It's not that beginner friendly, but it's also not that hard to get started. You could become a fitness coach without being the fittest guy. If you know how to run traffic, get real, like make reels, get post videos, and get likes on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you can make a coaching business, right? So it's not that beginner friendly, but it's also not that hard, right? So this is a good one. Now this is like chat building or AI automation services. This one's a kind of a decent one. I would say this is kind of almost like being a service-based business or marketing and sales. And it's kind of trendy. People now like to combine it with AI, right? And tell you like AI automation or AI chatbot building or AI agents. And it's kind of like has like something to do with lead generation, email marketing, or like ads or like some consulting, right? And people market it as like a branding thing, like AI automation agency is the next big thing, blah blah blah, right? And it is kind of true that AI is going to change things, but you also have to keep in mind that people who say AI automation or AI agencies are the next thing are also trying to sell you like a course. So the people who sell this are kind of biased. Like they're trying to like give you shiny object syndrome, like quit your SSMA, do stop doing social media management, do AI agency, do AI voice agents, do this, right? It's kind of like repackaging some of these business models, but giving it a new twist by adding AI or chatbot or automation, right? So I would say this is a pretty good business. It's just not new and it's repackaged and it's kind of like pushed artificially because they want you to buy the new course. They want you to buy this new thing called AI automation, right? So yes, it works. And yes, it's kind of like in a way it's trying to exaggerate or trying to convince you. So pretty decent option, but I would say it's not as new as people make it seem. It's not as like unique as some people will tell you, right? So these are like 37 business models. Again, I told you there's pros and cons. Like these pay well. This also pays pretty well. Some of these pay well, but again, these are harder. Like in my opinion, this is probably the hardest category. And then these right here were the two easiest categories. Uh, you can make money with these categories instantly. You can make money in a couple months with these. This is going to be super advanced. You have to like these business models will make you better, and you'll get more money over the long term, and you'll actually build real skill. But you're not going to be able to monetize that quickly, that fast. Same for this. You have to have some capital. You need to have like some learning curve, right? And some of these are pretty decent, especially like SaaS is pretty hard. App development is pretty hard, right? So I would say that there's no right or wrong business model. I'm just gonna tell you that as a beginner, these are hard. These are probably easier. But after a certain like income level, you're gonna have to switch, or you're gonna want to switch to some of these more sophisticated models because you can kind of like unlock your cap and make more. Like you're gonna be capped with video editing, you're gonna be capped with graphic design, you're gonna be capped with freelance writing, right? So the beginner models are easier to make money. You can make money quicker, but there's a cap. These models are way harder. I would not recommend them to beginners, but they have a higher cap and you can do exits, right? You can sell a drop shipping store, you can sell a print on demand store, you could sell a software company, you could sell an app agency or an app development company, I mean, and you can sell that for like $1 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, right? You can make a huge amount of money on one sell of like a company. So they pay really well, but they're also harder and you have to invest more and you also have to like be a better entrepreneur, be a better businessman to be able to make those. So pros and cons. Um, I wouldn't say any business model is better than another. They all have like their own set of pros and cons, and you kind of have to decide what stage of my career am I in. If are you really advanced? Are you really ready to go to the next level and do one of these like SaaS, maybe app development or agency consulting, e-commerce, right? Or are you still like kind of in the beginning stages, right? Like it depends on your age, it depends on how good you are and what you want to do, right? So it varies a lot, but this is my take on these business models. You can kind of like do your own research and learn which one fits you the best, but these are my recommendations. Try to be as non-biased as possible. Just try to like analyze like my perspective. Try to see like what am I thinking, the way that I like weigh the pros and cons, the way that I see things, right? Because you need to do the same, right? You need to kind of like adopt good ways of thinking, and then figure out a way for you to like choose the right one for you, right? Because you're not going to know the right business model unless you like actually like weigh the pros and cons. You actually look at things without like being biased, right? And let's say for example you've been doing video editing for like a year. Yeah, like it would be bad to switch business models, but also you're gonna be capped, right? Let's say you're right here, you're at the cap. The only way you're gonna get uncapped from here is if you switch to a business model that lets you cap higher, right? So every business model on here has a cap. None of these business models will make you a billionaire, right? So they all have some caps. Some caps are like 5K per month. Some caps are 500K per month, right? So again, every business model has a cap. Every business model has the pros and cons. You just need to like figure out what you want and what fits you better and what do you need in this specific moment in time, right? And you have to be the one to decide. Don't listen to any guru. Don't listen to any one particular person telling you do this business model, buy this course instead. Instead, you be the one to actually decide and see if that you should switch or if you should consider a different business model, right? Like try to have the thinking in your mind and then you decide that personally, right? So, anyways, guys, this video was extremely long. I'm gonna try to speed this video up so it's not that long, but yeah, guys. So I would recommend watch this video if you want to go to a specific business model and replay what I said. But I want you guys to like just make sure you guys comment on this video. Make sure you guys like the video and also subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, because I wanted to drop a lot of value in this video and I plan on doing a lot more value topics. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.